welcome to the Coon Rapids Ice Center on a beautiful day for baseball. I mean hockey. It's above freezing, but the ice is plenty cool at the CTN outdoor rink. And the Cardinals welcome the Armstrong Cooper Wings. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro, and a tough task for the Cardinals coming in. They did get a win on Thursday night, but this is the division leader that beat them 7-3 earlier in the season.
Well, and it was a much-deserved and needed win last night for the Cardinals, 6-1 win here actually out on the ice outside as well. But you're right, Armstrong Cooper comes in very hot, an opportunity for them to continue what they're doing and winning some games, scoring a lot of goals, over 4.5, just about 4.5 goals per game. And that's something the Cardinals will have to be concerned about.
Well, they are without some of their top scorers, and they're looking for guys to pick them up. One of the guys who has done it is Ide, getting a goal and 2 assists in their 4-3 win over Irondale on Thursday night.
Yeah, he picked up some slack. They're missing some of their better players here in the last couple of games, so he's one of those players that are going to pick up the slack, get an opportunity to provide scoring, and he's going to be the one of the starters on the first line.
On the flip side, the Cardinals a little banged up and have sustained some injuries and continue on. Their netminder, their junior netminder, stepping in and continues to play between the pipes. And up front, they need guys to pick up the scoring as well. One of them is their center, Pieri.
Yeah, Kirby Pieri, one of those players that definitely needs to step up, Joe. You know, they lost their young player, Tommy Carls, here to an injury. He was a point-a-game scorer, so they're looking to pick up some of their slack. Pieri's one of those players.
We will take a short break and be back with the puck drop on the CTN outdoor rink. After this, you're watching live coverage of boys high school hockey on CTN.
I thought first you thought it was big.
Get it started on the CTN outdoor rink. It'll be interesting to see how the outdoor elements affect both teams. I believe we will be splitting the last period in half to accommodate for wind and or sun.
Well, depending on when the sun goes down, there's not too much wind here this afternoon. Beautiful day for outdoor hockey. I mean, we played this game last year against the same squad, Joe, and I think it was a little bit chillier, a little bit colder, but today's not bad.
Armstrong Cooper coming off a little bit of a rough spot for the division leader, but have picked it up the last few games. A blowout victory over Spring Lake Park, and then the 4-3 overtime win against Irondale on Thursday.
Well, and Coach Charleston talked to me about the fact that was a big win for them. They felt that they needed it, especially down some of their players that contribute mightily to their squad, and so this was an opportunity for them to get that win over Irondale, and now an opportunity here against Coon Rapids. The shadow knows.
Stretching long in front of the feet of the home team Cardinals. But it's Armstrong Cooper that wins the draw. Braden Gray will dump it in deep. Ammon gives chase and turns to the corner. A long touched out of the zone by Tyler George. Not able to track it down as Wyatt Ball, but now George behind his own net. Will come to the top of the circles, to the middle, a wrist shot off the pad. Rebound nearly tucked home by Pieri.
Yeah,
Pieri recovers.
Great opportunity there for the Cardinals.
Ammon from the point, a wrist shot and misses wide. Kept in on the far side by Crosby. He'll give chase and collect behind. Out of the reach of Braden Gray. Gets to the blue, dumps it back off the stick of George. Played across off a couple of sticks. Crosby has to turn it back in. Jumping ahead is Bjorn Jensen. He's bumped there by Ammon. Puck comes free, wrist shot in. Protas will make the save and hold on.
Coach Charleston said, we want to score early here tonight. We want to put the pressure on Coon Rapids. They feel that it gets their flow of their game better, fits what they like to do, as you see the opportunity there. Protas with the save.
Coon Rapids still awaiting the return of their lead. Breakaway opportunity for Erickson. A big save. The rebound is poked home. And the Cardinals on the board just over a minute into the game.
What a great opportunity for Coon Rapids there. Again, a big shot. The rebound came off Harding, but no defender there to bother the Cardinals. I'm not sure who put that in.
Erickson's speed started it.
Yep. Take another look at it. As, again, got away, got through the defense. Going to take the shot, but the rebound is what hurt them.
It's Drew Knapp putting it home at 1:08.
That's his third goal of the season. Nice way for Coon Rapids to start one up here early in this first period.
Rather long delay before the drop, but that means we got to see several looks at the opening goal, and right away division leader with a little bit of pressure on their back, held at the blue line by Jeremiah Simonson. Knapp will force it back into the corner before being dumped by Gray. Played around far side. Schneider is stopped up. Turned back behind where Gray looks up ice. Stopped up momentarily by Knapp, held in at the blue line by Caden Anderson. He can't get through traffic. It's played behind by Campion, and around on the far boards is Schneider. He'll bring it back into the corner. A lot of early good forecheck pressure. Jack Campion flips it out. Stopped up, big bump at center ice as Campion ran into Lockinen. Lockinen can't get it up the glass past Ide. But Coon Rapids able to collect and bring to center. Cole Nicholas forces it into the zone. Pass bounced off of Jensen, but he's able to get it back and now send it in deep. Erickson behind the net for Lockinen. Up the far side and reaching a little bit was Nicholas, and Armstrong able to play it back in. Corey able to force it out to center. Armstrong fires it back in. Jangula plays it back off the near side and eyed into the zone, but offside.
The Cardinals turned that puck over and almost led to an opportunity for Armstrong. But I really like what the Cardinals are doing.
Schneider just in a step too early as the play developed along the near board.
I like what they're doing early so far. Just
Far board from our cameras, I suppose.
Cameras crossed over on the roof. 3 of them on the roof here at Crick. This beautiful outdoor rink.
Played off the boards by Schneider. Coon Rapids able to turn it back in. Forced back out to center. Crosby for Coon Rapids. Plays it off the boards into the corner. Gray will play it around. Got away from Campion. Campion able to get it right back, and then the pass behind Weisjohn and all the way down. No icing as it's turned over in the corner. Wings were trying there to develop something in the offensive zone, really for the first time here in the game. George tracks Gray down and takes him out behind the net. Puck played back out to center. Van Holzen. No, that was Simonson rather, off the near boards. Puck played long in on Protas. He pads it to the far side. Ide will play it into the corner. Van Holzen now around to the near side. I'm going to have that trouble all day long.
Well, it's hard. You can't see
it's
in that
near
corner.
side for us.
Yeah.
But for the cameras and the folks at home, far side.
He should get it by the third period.
Maybe.
Maybe midway through.
It's a big hit by Tyler George. Definitely a physical presence for the Cardinals. Played it clean. Got out in front of Iden, takes him in along the back end boards.
Well, this game last year also was very physical. These two teams, they take their opportunities when they can.
Nicholas chases through center, turned around by the wings. Ammon's pass is picked off. Ide will circle with it back near his own blue line. Chased by Ryan Corey. He's able to get around a couple of Cardinals. Down low angle shot, wrong off the post. Nicholas unable to free it along the far board. Snapshot misses wide. Jensen with it out of the corner, tipped off his stick by Nicholas. Nicholas plays it back behind. Cardinals try to exit near side, pass off the stick of Corey. Kept in by Jack Campion. Shot in, rebound loose. And a good play by Van Holzen to keep it from getting back in on Protas, who was down. Long pad saved by Protas. Little pressure from the wings. The Cardinals will play at the length, get themselves a little bit of breather as Armstrong Cooper trying to mount an attack and even the score.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of controlling presence down in the Cardinal end here and then being physical and getting opportunities. And that's what Coach Charles said. We have to create things for ourselves. We have to create those opportunities. More quality shots on net. But as we mentioned in the opening, they're scoring over 4 goals a game.
Kept in at the line, tipped in on Protas. He can't cover. Backdoor shot is home. And the Wings able to even it up with that pressure off the faceoff.
Again, a nice job there. Protas couldn't control that puck, and the recipe for a goal for the Wings. So you're going to see it here. Good pressure on that near side, but you're going to see the puck come across, and relatively easy goal there.
Jonah Jangula jumps on the rebound into an empty net. Nothing Protas can do down on the far side.
That's Jangula's 9th goal on the season.
And we're tied up as we cross 6 minutes into the contest. Pass picked off, turned up ice by Jack Campion. Flips it into the zone. Ammon will play it back off the near boards and out. Gray dumps it into the far corner. Crosby lost the handle a bit. Bumped and he plays it behind. Ammon tries to sidestep a check. Good pressure from the Wings. Nearly forces the turnover and now does, as Campion stopped it up along the far boards. Chance for Campion again, and that one just misses wide. Ball picks it up off the boards for Coon Rapids. Can't get past center as it's turned back in by Joe Campion. Good speed by Jangula. Catches up with the loose puck. Gains control and takes the body from Jangula. Forces the action back into the corner. Another big hit, but the puck comes free out to the point. Shot through traffic. Save made by Protas. And he holds on for the faceoff.
But we've seen these two teams be a little bit chippy. You saw it there in that far corner, at least our far corner, that they take the hit and they just, again, making sure that they're keeping their players wide, but nonetheless, it's definitely physical.
Knapp can't get it out of the zone. Ide plays it back toward the corner. And shot pass out front. And just unable to get a stick on it was Anderson, who was just above the crease. Stepping up to keep it in was Jensen, but only momentarily, as skated to center by Simonson and now forced in deep. Collected by Bjorn Jensen. He'll go back to the far side. Cross-ice pass right to the stick of Jangula. And Jangula, snapshot, save, rebound. And Ide plays it back to the near side. Kept in at the line. A play out front and a good, strong defensive effort to keep Ide off of that puck. But now Van Holzen couldn't quite get it out. Kept in at the line. Played back out of the zone. Gray turns it near side for Campion. Now out of the reach, but they say that Gray got a piece of it. Carter Lucas along the near boards. Out to center. Stopped up by Cole Nicholas. He's knocked down by Kubelbeck. Armstrong recovers. Reverse for Lucas, able to skate through center. Bump by Nicholas. And that is going to force the offside. 8:13 remaining in the first period.
Well, we've seen the intensity pick up for the Wings here in the last number of minutes. They were applying pressure, then they did get that goal, and you can see still applying that pressure is a big hit to the boards there. Not sure.
Oh, they're going to do it in the first period.
Oh.
When the sun and wind are at a bigger effect to the game.
Especially the sun, because it's bright. So now Pronos will be looking into the sun.
Armstrong Cooper able to win the draw. Schreiner stopped up by Ball, who turns it back into the zone for Coon Rapids. Pass is stopped up. Ball recovers along the boards, plays it back out to the point. Stepping in was locking him, but the shot was blocked. Tackle in the near corner. I'll get it eventually. Erickson plays it back in deep. Wraparound attempt by Pieri won't go. And the Wings able to break out through center. Waisjon round the corner on Lockinen. Centers, but nobody home. That's almost too many men and almost out of the zone. But Lucas keeps it in as the man he was replacing just got off the ice. Chopped out to center by George. 2-on-1 for the Cardinals. George will shoot. And the save swallowed up by Justin Harding. Harding hasn't seen a lot of action.
He hasn't.
Since that very early goal by the Cardinals.
George, he had a player there. He tried to cut that angle, see if he could get it past Harding, but shot it right into his midsection.
Well, and he held it long enough that the pass cleared for Erickson, who was set up in the corner. Through center is Jangula, knocked off his stick by Ammon, and Ammon able to force it out to center where Ide sends it back for Gray. Regroup as the pass was fanned on, poked back along by Harding. Armstrong flips it out to center. Cardinals turn it right back over. Cardinal Lucas's pass doesn't get through either. Ammon kicks it to himself and now will dump it in on the netminder Harding. He'll leave it off, and his circling is Gray. Pass just out of the reach of Lucas, and Coon Rapids back in its own zone. Long pass off the near boards. Ball will flip it in before being dumped hard by Schneider. Numbers for the Wings. Schneider will hold behind. Pass back to the point was broken up. George tries to chip it through but can't. Nice stick work by Jensen, but then lost the handle, and Ammon ices it to give Armstrong Cooper face-off in the offensive end.
Yeah, and the Cardinals said they wanted a change in this, so they did ice that so they could get some fresh skaters out on the ice. 5:53 remaining. We're knotted up at 1. Cardinals scored first, but the Wings able to answer a little later in this period. Yeah, it's a nice day. Nice day. We got a nice, not a bad crowd coming out for some outdoor hockey on a wintry Saturday afternoon where it doesn't seem like winter.
Rarely do you have sun affect a hockey game.
Especially indoors.
Correct. Has the looks of baseball season. If it weren't for the snow we just received last week, we wouldn't even have the white backdrop.
This would be true.
Wiesjohn to the back door, shot upper corner by Jack Campion, makes it a 2-1 lead for Armstrong Cooper.
Yeah, what a nice assist. Nice feed to Campion, and he buries it in the back of the net for the second goal of the game for the Wings. We'll see it again, just Wiesjohn coming across and finding Campion between two defenders. Just a beautiful pass right on a stick, and Campion didn't waste any time putting it in the back of the net. That'd be his 4th goal this season.
And first lead for Armstrong Cooper. Coon Rapids really hasn't been able to put much pressure on their net at all since that goal at 1:08. That one chipped in, and Protas left it hanging a little bit as the Cardinals able to recover on defense and turn it around. Ryan Corey's pass through center, stopped up, not able to tip it back away from Jangula. Jangula sends it in with one hand, and chases Lockett along, then strips it from his pocket. Played out to the point. Lucas fanned on it as it rolled off the heel of his stick. Hyde recovers for Armstrong Cooper, turns away from pressure in the corner, and then plays it back down low. Anderson sends it along, stopped up along the midboard. Coon Rapids able to get it out to center. Cole Nicholas flips it in on the backhand, and the Cardinals get fresh legs out there. Chasing in the offensive end, long pass. Spun around by Kubelbeck and played out to the middle. Crosby smoked him and sent him sliding to the boards, but the puck still controlled by Armstrong Cooper. Matt Campion out to the point. Ooh, and a big hit as George tried to exit the zone.
And knocked him back a little bit, but not off his feet.
Cardinals with possession. George is shot through traffic, fanned on at the back door by Pieri as he tried to send home the bouncing puck. Armstrong able to work it back out to center ice and play it down and in, but that is going to be icing, and the face-off back to the right of Justin Harding.
Cardinals would love to see if they can tie this thing up before they go to break, put a little pressure in on Harding. As you mentioned, not a lot of work for him since that first goal.
Cardinals give chase behind. Kept in far side, flipped in on Harding. He'll cover it up and get another face-off. 2:48 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, just being safe, protecting that 2-1 lead as he forces that face-off to his left.
Armstrong plays it around to the far side. Through center is Wiesjohn, plays it in deep. Hand pass.
Yeah.
Will send the faceoff all the way back to the Armstrong zone. Chipped to center by Armstrong, but turned over. Ball will skate in front of his own net, and now play to the far corner in the shadows ahead for George. Centering pass taken away by Schneider. Back in toward Protas, but the Cardinals able to recover and turn it around. Sent in just wide by Gray. Pierre able to force his way out to center. Into the Armstrong end. Goes wide, trying to wrap around, and path prevented. Good chase by Braden Gray. And Armstrong Cooper able to play it back out to center. That one skipped high off the glass by Jack Campion and out of play.
Yeah, they're looking to set something at 2 offensively with 1:40. Like try and extend this lead. As Danny Charleston mentions, that we play better with a lead because it just helps our flow. An opportunity there for Coon Rapids, not able to get that scoring chance they needed.
Lockett looks, plays it back to the far corner. Pass deflected, and now comes loose to Nicholas. Back ahead, and dumped in deep by Drew Erickson. Lockett can't hold the zone. Erickson turned it. Lockett sends it back in deep. Recovering is Jensen. Jensen will skate ahead. Now move it up for Hyde. Back door. And a one-time goal.
Couldn't see who that. I couldn't see who that came from.
Bjorn Jensen filling the lane at the back door for the one-timer.
Yeah, again, nice job getting around the defense to set that whole thing up. You see it pass get through. And there's the goal and gets behind Protas.
Great job by the defenseman stepping up to fill a lane, and he had a wide open net staring at him. Protas made a nice effort to come all the way back across.
That's a tough goal to give up for Coon Rapids as it's nearing the end of this period. Now they go down 3-1.
Never like to give up a goal in the first or last minute of any period, and that one just inside the final minute of this first. And Armstrong Cooper, who fell behind and another one with 16 seconds. Great snapshot by Jonah Jangula, his second of the game.
Yeah, his second. And again, Coach talked about Jangula as being one of the players that's probably the most hard-working on this squad. And he'll be in position to score goals. Now that's 10 on the season. Came in with a couple of them here this afternoon to take a 4-1 lead with 16.5 seconds remaining. And Joe, you talk about how poor it is to give up one goal in the last minute. Now 2.
You certainly don't want to give up 2. Wings right back on the attack. Van Holzen to Ball. Ball carries it back to the corner, and now we'll just suck up the last few seconds and get the team to the locker room. We'll take a break and be back with more from the CTN Outdoor Rink. You're watching CTN's coverage of boys high school hockey.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job.
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is my kingdom come. This is my kingdom come.
Hi, I'm Ryan Nagasu, 2010 Olympian and bronze medal winner of the 2014 U.S. Championships. I knew I loved skating at the age of 5, and now it's become my life passion. Find your skating passion at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Classes are available all year round. It could be the place where your skating dreams come true. See you on ice.
Back at the CTN outdoor rink. And a good start, but poor finish for the home team Cardinals. Things got going early as Alec Erickson used his speed to get behind the defense on the loose puck. And then it's buried by Derek Knapp. Just a minute 8 into the game, the Cardinals were on top 1-0. But things definitely went south from there as the pressure finally paid off. The goal to even it by Jangula jumping on the loose change at the back door. And then a great backdoor feed, top shelf delivery to put them in the lead. Game just under 6 minutes remaining. And then they get 2 in the final minute, and that was just kind of the dagger. The Cardinals keeping it close until the final 60 seconds, and Armstrong all of a sudden a sigh of relief as they go to the locker room.
Yeah, and they put a lot of pressure on in the majority of that first period, and really Cardinals not getting a lot offensively and not a lot of good looks on net. You talked about it. It's tough to give up a goal in the final minute. They gave up 2. They're in a big hole now because they're looking for scoring. They're only averaging, Joe, 2.5 goals a game. So they're looking to see how they can get back into this contest in period number 2.
A physical but clean game. No penalties through the first frame. We'll take a break and be back with puck drop on period number 2 right after this on CTN.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Back at the CTN outdoor rink, a 4-1 deficit for the home team Cardinals. Joined now by head coach Steve Moen. Coach, your message to the guys has to have dramatically changed in the last minute of play in the first.
Yeah, I think it just kind of goes back to being disciplined, the little things that you're supposed to do, the way that we're supposed to play. I think we kind of lost that a little bit. So that was the big conversation, just getting back to the things that work and don't change what works.
And how do you take care of some of that pressure down in your end? They had the puck quite a bit down in your end in that first period.
It's making quicker reads. It's definitely making tape-to-tape passes and then supporting the puck. We work on beating the pressure all the time, and 2 good passes can get us out of the zone. So we've maybe adjusted a couple of things. Maybe that helps us out going into the second period.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second period. We will take a look at those first period stats. And really, not as bad as you might think. 14-7, though, a solid advantage for the Armstrong Cooper Wings.
Well, and the thing about those 14 shots, 4 of them found the back of the net, and that's your big stat. And you talked about it. No power plays in that. Pretty clean first period. But Cardinals definitely have to change a few things, do some things differently. They're in a hole, and they'll have to find a way to try and dig out of it.
We will take a break. Be back with the second period after this. You're watching live high school boys hockey on CTN.
Superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Armstrong Cooper coming into the period, a solid 4-1 lead, 2 goals in the final 60 seconds. And Coon Rapids trying to get something going right away, but
not like that.
Played too long, about 2 steps too early.
And that's exactly it, Joe. They're going to have to get something going right away here. They need a little momentum back on their side, down by 3 goals. And that was a demoralizing last minute of that first period for them. And they played fairly solid, played pretty close. But to give up those 2 goals, tough.
Ammon can't freeze it along the boards. Stepping out was Jangula, and that puck never frozen, but ref lost sight of it, or net may have come off a little bit. And fortunate because pressure building from this top line of Armstrong Cooper. Chopped behind by Simonson. George will move it to Pieri, who skates through center and gets past Gray. Gray able to tap it off his stick. Pieri recovers, pushed to the board by Gray, and he dumps it in deep. George ties up, tried to get it back for him. And now hacked at by Jangula, but the Cardinals able to send it in deep. Gray along Jangula. Can't get past Knapp. Gets it back now and steps between a couple of Cardinals. Near side for Ben Anderson. His shot deflected and ends up wide off the end board. Van Holzen sends it around. Nobody home for the Cardinals, and Jensen will keep it in the zone, at least momentarily. And now forced back in by Schneider. Simonson behind his own net. Cardinals finish the first. Oh, and a turnover right out front, and a spectacular shoulder save by Danny Protas, point blank. Boy, the Cardinals give up a juicy opportunity.
Oh, they were fortunate there.
And bailed out by their tall goaltender.
He's able to come up. The shot's right inside to him, but definitely wasn't expecting that. Caught it quickly.
This one blocker to the corner by Protas. Played to the line. It hopped over the stick of Joe Campion, but he's able to play it back in. Cardinals try to break out it through the center, and that was broken up by Eric Schneider. Jensen, shot couldn't get deflected. Rebound chances patted aside by Protas as well. Lackinen behind his own net. And now Lackinen will flip it back out to center. Stopped up off the skate of Knapp, recovered and turned ahead by Benson, and the Wings in offside.
Almost a big chance for the Wings here in period number 2.
They were ready to attack 3-2
yeah.
into the zone, but one of the wingers in early. This one chopped right in on Protas. Paddles it toward the corner. Ammon off the boards. Held up in the defender moment, or the official momentarily. Sent in deep by Matt Campion. Crosby sent it back to the far corner, and here's Nicholas. Nicholas trying to get past a couple of guys. Sam Schreiner able to get the turnover. Gets it to the line, but not in. Out, kept in by Ryan Corey. We're going to see our first penalty. It's going to be a trip as Ammon held blue and was skating back into the zone and had his legs taken out by Matt Campion.
Yeah, and
if you haven't noticed, Armstrong Cooper is a foul with Campions. 3 of them on the active roster.
That's where the penalty was called, and the Cardinals will get a chance to go on the power play for the first time here today, and they certainly need an opportunity here with playing that extra skater.
Wings able to win the draw and send it the length quickly. Jangula given pressure along the back end boards. Ammon gets it to Crosby. It got off his stick. He chased, but it's turned around again by the Wings. Pieri back into his own zone. Flips it to Ammon at the far line. Tipped in deep. Back to the red. Crosby intercepts, and Crosby out of the reach of George into the zone. Fired back and threw a couple of Cardinals all the way down by Braden Gray. Crosby from behind his own net. Just about midway through this power play, Crosby attacks on the left side. Flipped it across the net mouth. Attempt from the near side. Played through. This shot by George tipped up and over. Gray gets a hold of it and again sends it all the way down. Kitty corner. Tyler George tried to play it behind, nothing on it, taken over by Jack Campion. Played to the line, Jensen across, wrist shot is high and wide. Jensen holds the line, still shorthanded. A little possession in the offensive zone for Armstrong Cooper. Finally slowed down by Drew Erickson in the far corner.
We saw a lot of that presence in the defensive zone in that first period by the Wings.
Jensen snapshot, blockers save Protas, and that'll do it for the power play.
And not a productive one at that for Coon Rapids. Armstrong spending a lot of time down shorthanded in their end.
Cardinals skate to center. Drew Hyde catches up, nearly picks a pocket, but Cardinals able to send it in deep. Ammon forces the turnover at center ice as Armstrong tried to go back north. Just into his own zone. Ammon's chip hit traffic and played back in, across and out. Armstrong sends it right back to him at his own blue line, and again, he can't get it past the forecheck. Schneider taken off it by Simonson. Can't get it past Ide. Loose puck comes in, and Protas can't control it. Kept in by Jensen at the blue line. Ide along the boards, tied up. Puck comes free, and back out to center ice. Right back in by Carter Lewis, and Coon Rapids will fire it down. They needed a line change. Too long on that shift.
Yeah, they definitely did, and again, credit the Wings for giving good pressure down in Coon Rapids' end. You know, it started the beginning of this period, but continued on that when they were on the penalty kill.
Trickles in on Protas. He'll cover it up. We'll try it again. Another win by the Wings, shot wide by Gray. Poke to the corner. Van Holsen takes a pair of Wings players into the boards and creates the loose puck for his teammate. Pass through center off the skate of Ashley Grachowski. Cole Ashley Grachowski.
Yeah, make sure you got all that in.
Well, if it was just Ashley Grachowski, people may wonder, but when you put the Cole in there, you know.
There's no longer there's no wonderment involved.
That's going to be icing the other way. Armstrong will head back to its own zone, and both teams will get fresh legs on the ice.
When we talk to Coach Charleston, hopefully we'll get a chance to Joe. They're following their keys perfectly. They're doing what they need to do to play well here, and it's really all about flow.
Missed pass sends Crosby all the way back into his own end. Reverses to Ammon, pressured, but gets it ahead for Ball. Ball cuts back through center. Chips it to neutral ice and sent right back in by Jensen. Clearing attempt stopped up, sent back to the corner. Ammon able to regain control, get it to Ball, and Ball nearly tripped up but skates through it. And George into the far end. His shot took the stick out of Bjorn Jensen's hand. Tie up, body spinning, falling, flying all over the place. No arms up in the air from the men with the orange stripe. This one right in on Harding, kind of surprised him a bit, and Cardinals had to tag up anyhow. Trying to get some fresh legs out there. Joe Campion gets into the zone for Armstrong Cooper. It's tipped off his stick and up out of play.
Yeah, the Wings, Coach Charleston said, we don't want to stand around. We don't want to watch. We have to keep our legs moving. We have to get into flow, and that's Joe. That's what they've done here so far. They've continued to put pressure in on the Cardinal end and made opportunities count.
All three Campions are sophomores.
Gee, how's that work?
I'm assuming that means they're triplets.
I know, I'm just kidding.
But could be cousins.
They could be cousins.
Either way, there are three. We did not.
Don't see a lot of triplets.
Penalty called against Armstrong. It's going to go against Noah Wiesjohn.
The Cardinals hope to do a little better job on their power play than they did the first time they had that opportunity. You can hear Coach Mo saying, move the puck.
Shot by George is blocked immediately, and Armstrong Cooper able to send it the length of the ice. Still no power play shots, and we've got a penalty behind the play. It's going to be Kirby Pieri for a slash. Maybe not. It's going to be Matt Ammon for a slash.
So that they'll play 4-on-4 here for a little bit, and then the Wings will be on a short power play. 8:25 remaining, period 2, 4-1 lead for Armstrong Cooper.
Arguably their best defensive player in Matt Ammon. Van Holsen turns back to the corner. And now we'll head up the far side. Kept in at the line. Knapp off the near boards. Stopped up at center by Joe Campion. And it's Jack sending it in deep. Played out to the line. Shot misses just wide for Joe Campion. Joe can keep it in Again, not able to, but another turnover just outside the zone. Jack trying to dance through traffic. Van Holzen sent it in on goal, and
not sure why they blew the whistle. Huh.
Inadvertent, perhaps?
I don't know, maybe. He blew it right after a shot was on goal.
That was not... either way, we got another 39 second of four hockey. Off the face-off, his shot saved to the corner by Harding. Turnover behind the net. Jack sends it just out of the reach of Eric Schneider, but he's able to catch up to it. Save made by Protas. Crosby circles behind. Now leaves it back for Lackinen. Corey tips it into center ice, stopped up by Joe Campion. Dumped in on Protas, and he pads it to the near board. Ryan Corey behind his own net. Pass behind Lackinen. Crosby will recover just inside the Coon Rapids blue. And now a short power play, but shorthanded rush by Crosby, not able to get past the last man. Then tips it at the net and creates some traffic right in front of Harding. 7 seconds left on the power play for Armstrong. Kept in at the blue line, at least momentarily. Now near side, Ben Anderson into the zone. Anderson, wrist shot, tipped out front. He was looking for the deflection from Wiesjohn all along, and it ends up trickling wide. Cardinals able to play it out to center. Caden Anderson gives chase, and Harding forced to cover up. And some pushing and shoving and jawing going on in the far corner.
Well, we talked about how physical it was, physical in that first period, then a little frustration there. Still a little pushing and jawing over there.
Joe Campion and Jake Van Holzen tied up a little bit long, but again, no penalties called, and we'll go back out to center.
Yeah, being ridden off. His teammates took exception to it. Is Van Holzen.
Face off one to the corner by Caden Anderson. This one's going to come rolling in on Protas, and he'll leave no doubt as he covers up for the face-off. Just a tick under 6 minutes remaining in this middle period.
Well, he had skaters coming at him. He smartly does that, covers up, forces that face-off to his right.
Cross ice pass a little bit behind Knapp. He's able to kick it out to center at least. And then the regroup pass across for Jensen was out of his reach. He has to chase all the way back deep in his own end. Another fanned pass, but now it's Jensen into the zone. Trying to slide it out front on the backhand. He's going to tie up with Van Holzen along the end board. Jonah Jangula over. Oh, they're both going now.
Yeah, he's not there.
That's carryover from the earlier pushing and shoving.
Well, he's not going to the box. The official says, hey, come back here.
Who, me?
Wait a minute. What did I do? I just got my stick caught.
Right.
In his teeth. So we'll see both players go for a couple of minutes. 5:31 remaining in period number 2.
Continue to play 5-on-5. Armstrong able to win the draw, but Pieri able to battle back through it and force it out to center. Armstrong dumps it back in deep. Centering pass, shot on, Protas the save. Puck slid towards center and now chipped out of the zone by Pieri. Armstrong able to force another turnover. And now played into the Armstrong Cooper bench.
Oh, come on, Eileen.
Oh, gave them both double minors, too. Double. So they're both gone for almost the remainder of the period. 4 minutes each. Shot from the point. I don't know that made it through. Cardinals trying to force it out again, and now finally do. Braden Gray will track it down in his own corner. Bumped off it, but leaves it. Austin Kubelbeck finally able to force it out to center. Poked into the zone by Ashley Gorchowski. Taken off of Hammond's stick. Card's able to get it back out to neutral at least momentarily. Simonson spins. Cross for Nicholas. Knocked away from him. A pass nearly taken away right in the middle of the slot. Long pass deflected ahead. Pieri will give chase and collect as he's bodied along the end board there. Eric Schneider with a little bit of room. Cross ice pass. Shot didn't make it through. Blocked by sliding Nick Lockett. This one comes to the point, and then a good job of recovery by Ball to deflect the shot by Schreiner up and out of play.
That was drilled to left center field, that puck.
Ball had it bounce away from him, but then able to recover and deflect that up and out of play. As he kind of put that on a tee for Sam Schreiner walking in. Pieri spins between the hash marks, knocked off it by Wiesjohn. Centering pass made it all the way through. Crosby backhands it along, fired out by Ball. Schreiner can't get it back in. Armstrong did get it deep, but then sent back out by Crosby. All the way back to the wings end. That pass off the shin pad of Jack Campion. And another one up and out of play. Another souvenir here at the CTN Outdoor Rink. Just over 3 minutes remaining here in the second period.
You get anything fun for returning a puck? You get some popcorn, you get some nachos, anything like that you know of?
Not that
Because
I
I was
know
going to
of.
run and grab that one. I'm hungry.
It's already back on the ice.
Is that okay?
But good effort.
Thanks.
Good effort. Hey, look
I
who's
thought
here.
about it. I thought about it. Look at that.
Look who's here.
The next generation.
This one sent in, and Cardinals send it right back out. Anderson gets into the zone, stopped up, sent out by Ammon. Armstrong had to tag up. That pass doesn't click. Carrying back in is Braden Gray. Could not get through Alec Erickson. Got it back, though. Centering pass knocked down. Now Gray ties up with Erickson. Centering pass bounced off a couple of sticks. Gray with it. Sends it through traffic, and Protas able to pounce on it. Danny Protas getting a lot of time. Has started, I think, now 4 in a row, except for the last one. The 6-1 win. Connor Wise, the sophomore, getting his first career start, his first career victory in that 6-1 win for the Cardinals on Thursday night. But Danny Protas has done most of the varsity chores since the injury a couple weeks ago to starter Andrew Argyros. And this is a program where we don't have a deep pool of netminders for the next several years. We will be quite shallow, including the young man who is right behind me, the only freshman class goaltender. One sophomore being wise, another one up and out of play, and that one's all the way to the parking lot. Tyler George's first home run of this 2018 season.
It wasn't a deep shot, but enough just to get it over the wall.
They had one from earlier because that one came back immediately, and that was not the same puck. But
it was not.
As long as it's not a gag
just waiting
puck
for my
that turns
nachos.
into smoke when somebody gives it just enough of a slap shot. Turnover in the corner, centering pass. Wiesjohn couldn't pull the trigger, now can't get it through the traffic. George chips it up and out and all the way down, and this one's going to run out of steam right in front, and Harding able to sweep it to the corner.
He's been pretty lonesome down there for most of this game so far.
No icing as the Cardinals touched it. Under a minute remaining here in the second period now. Played back out to center. Nicholas able to settle the bouncing puck and now sent in deep by Ben Hansen. Long cross ice pass. Pierre, he pounced and just couldn't quite break it up. Schneider going the other way. Big rebound. Jag Camp being able to get control and get another opportunity. He'll get it back now from Gray, cross ice. And Joe Campion can't quite control. He's ridden off it by Knapp. Drew Erickson down there as well, but it's the Wings coming away with it. Noah Wiesjohn out to the point. Gray's shot through traffic, didn't make it through. And then that one actually blocked, I believe, by Jack Campion on his knees. Campion will get it back. Backhand stop by Protas. Buzzer's going to sound as they're jamming Protas all the way back into his own net. And all kinds of emotions come out as the gloves get up and pushing and shoving. We'll have to wait to see if they decide to call any additional penalties, but no scoring in the second period. Armstrong Cooper continues to lead the Cardinals 4-1. We'll take a break and be back to the CTN Outdoor Rink after this.
The Coon Rapids Recycling Center can help you recycle all of your old appliances and electronics. From your old refrigerator to washers and dryers, we can help you recycle your appliances and keep them out of the waste stream, which is required by state law. When it comes to electronics, some fees may apply. Check our website for more details. The Coon Rapids Recycling Center, helping you recycle even more.
Back at the CTN Outdoor Rink. Armstrong Cooper, a 4-1 lead. We're joined now by head coach Dan Charleston. Coach, got to like the way you finished in the first period, but not able to add to it in the second.
Yeah, absolutely. We got after it a little bit there at the end of the first, but couldn't find much activity, in the second period. So hopefully the third here will be a little bit better for us.
Coach, when we talked, you spoke about game flow, and your squad really did get into that game flow. After being scored on early, coming back, and then building that 4-1 lead, you have to like the fact the way your players are playing here this evening.
Yeah, they responded. We never want to be chasing games from behind, but it happens sometimes. And I did like the response after they gave up a goal. They kind of got after it. They didn't let it affect them. And like I said, we got to just be moving through the neutral zone and, have great puck management where we're putting pucks, not just where the puck is, where the puck's going to be, and where's that puck when we don't have it. So.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the third period. Not a lot of highlights in the second. Nobody able to score, and really not a lot of great opportunities either way.
Nope.
But a lot of shots piling up now for the Wings. 20 shots on goal in that period to just 4 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and that's two things that have to be bothering Coach Mo. He talked about we can't let a lot of shots go on goal. We have to prevent what we can, and we have to create scoring opportunities for ourselves, and really they have not done that here so far today.
But Coon Rapids, despite being outshot more than 3-1, with an early goal, could be right back in this one.
And that's what they need. They need some momentum. They need.
And a quick turnover. Protus able to jump out, and top of it is Ben Anderson. Nearly sprung in behind the defense.
Yeah, we're looking right into that sun. It's a little tough to see that goal from where we're standing.
Yeah, I don't know why they split the first period, other than thinking that it would be the one that would be the most affected by the sun and wind, but pretty straight angle for Justin Hastings, the netminder of I didn't see the penalty to Matt Ammon.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals killing one early. Rebound chance and a goal for Armstrong Cooper, and they're just like that, they are able to answer.
Yeah, on the power play, a quick goal here to start period number 3 for the Wings, and pushes their lead to 5-1. Ben Anderson,
43 seconds in.
Ben Anderson getting the goal for Armstrong Cooper. Just a quick turnaround, getting past Protus.
That's what the Cardinals did not need, is for that hole to get even deeper. Another good chance on the rebound. And Protus at this time able to slide across, cover up, and get a face-off. Wings certainly not letting up pressure-wise to start the third period with that big lead.
Well, if you look down their schedule, they scored 7 goals last time they played this club, but you've seen a lot of 7 goals, a couple of 10-goal games for Armstrong,
including just
year.
A couple of games ago against Spring Lake Park.
So they definitely can score, and I think they'll want to continue to put pressure on here.
Cooper up top. Played in on Protus, and he's able to stop it and cover up.
Face-off coming to the left of Protus. Wind's hasn't been bad, but it's been fairly steady.
Puck punched at by Crosby. Wiesjohn able to recover for Armstrong Cooper. Down for Jack Campion, walking in, a little fake shot, now carries behind. Out to Wiesjohn, that's deflected up and over the cage. Played back to the point by Schneider. And the turnover forced by Cole Nicholas. Nicholas able to get it all the way to the Armstrong Cooper zone. This one played toward the net, but stopped up by Jensen. Crosby blew a tire, and Armstrong back the other way. Pass deflected, and Protus can't make the catch with his glove. Out front, one just trickling away a little bit from Eric Schneider, and he got tied up in the high slot. Ends up losing his stick, and it's going to be a penalty as it's gloved by Protus. And after getting the early power play goal, Armstrong Cooper getting the advantage again.
Yeah, and that's and Ammon's going to go again. That's definitely not what the Cardinals want to see here, trailing already 5-1. Getting the face off to the left of Protus.
Shot through traffic, deflected wide as Armstrong Cooper returns to pressure on the power play. Jensen stops up in the corner, tied up, left it off. Shot stopped by Protus, played out to the point. Braden Gray will play it back to the point. I tried to sweep it back to her, or Jangula rather tried to sweep it back to him, and Jangula now back at his own blue line. Ide trying to get around the corner, takes it behind and stops up. Pass bounces away from Jangula, and now Jangula trying to scoop it across for Joe Campion out to the point. Campion has to go off his shin pad. Cardinals play it all the way down. 45 seconds remain on the power play. Good possession, but really nothing through to the netminder on this power play. Pieri trying to get through traffic and lost it to the last man. Will now get it back from Wendell Ball. Pieri knocked off it. Good spin move to find a little bit of space, and a shorthanded chance for Pieri. Kicked away by Harding.
Yeah, he just got a piece of it. It looked like it was going to go to that far corner.
Jack Campion tied up, but it skips away now from Wiesjohn. Wiesjohn lost the handle, but right to Schneider. Schneider's shot hit traffic. Wiesjohn recovers in the corner. It's chased by Erickson, back down below. Schneider. His pass tipped to the corner. Schneider able to recover again. This one bounced through the zone. Armstrong Cooper forced deep into their own end to recover, and then that one didn't click, and that's going to be icing. And you talk about flow, Shapiro. They had good possession again. Not really putting anything toward the net, but they don't have to at this point.
No.
If they can just control the puck, keep it in the Cardinals' end, and kill some clock, they're coasting to another victory.
Well, yeah, and you know they've been able to control this one early on, and this again playing their game.
Through center quickly, Jangula snaps it and kicked to the corner by Protas. Back out to center. Jensen turns it around. That pass knocked down. George Crosby ran somebody over, and that forced the offside.
Again, we're seeing the physicality here in this game, and there's the shot turned away by Pieri. Gets that.
Just a toe is all it takes.
That doesn't. As long as you get a piece of it.
5 goals allowed, but Protas really having a pretty decent game.
No, he's faced a lot of shots here tonight.
Harding not challenged much at all. Great step up in the slot by Sam Schreiner to take away any Cardinal opportunity. And now Schreiner with it on the near point board. Played ahead, but sent back in deep by Simonson.
Well, that's what the Cardinals need. They need some of the pressure down here in the wings end if they want to get try and get back into this game. Still plenty of time, 11 minutes, but they have to get something going quickly.
Van Holzen dumps it back in. Gray plays it across for Joe Campion. Gets to the line, plays it right in on Protas, and he holds for a faceoff. 10:38 remaining third period. Armstrong Cooper cruising with a 5-1 lead at this point. 5 unanswered goals.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to start out nicely for Coon Rapids, and they're scoring first, but Armstrong Cooper had some other things to say about that.
Shot from the point by Carter Lucas went wide off the glass. Cardinals able to get it back out to center. Pieri spins and finds room along the boards. And then knocked to the ice as he crosses the line by Parker Collins. Weisjohn left it for Carter Campion. Jack Campion. His shot turned away by Protas.
Cardinals able to get some fresh skaters out on the ice, and with this stoppage,
Weisjohn back in his own end, cross ice off the far boards. Protas will leave it in the corner. Crosby's pass hopped over the stick of John Hansen. Save made by Protas on the shot through traffic. Lucas carries to the corner for Armstrong Cooper. Centering pass and a good defensive effort by Hansen forces the turnover. Fladibo got almost to the red line and played it all the way down, but it'll be icing.
So that'll bring that puck all the way back to the Cardinals' end. 9:13 remaining, 5-1 Armstrong lead.
Quick chance off the draw, turned away by Protas. Wings able to hold it at the line. Pass just out of the reach of Ball. George will play it in on the back end, and then both he and Ball end up in a ball in the slot. And Armstrong Cooper able to try and break out far side. Cross ice pass slowed, but Jensen able to carry into the zone. Cross ice pass trying to get it to Ben Anderson. Skipped away from him to the far boards. Tied up there and now played along. And on the near side, it's Bjorn Jensen. Played toward the net, and Cardinals able to turn it away. Jensen back into his own zone. Right back out. Corey stopped it up. Played back near side for Jangula. Winds, fires. That's high and wide off the far glass. Stopped up by Joe Campion. Played back into the corner. Played out front, and a save on the quick shot by Jangula. Out to the point, Jangula tried to tip that in. Back out to the point, Gray's shot. Fluttered wide, far side off the end board. Cardinals finally able to gain control and play at the length of the ice. We'll have a face-off. Back to the Cardinal end, 7:42 on the clock.
Yeah, again, trying to alleviate some of that pressure by the Wings they're putting on. Again, you'll see the good job that they're doing, putting pressure on the Cardinal net. Protas coming up with that save.
Look at how much room Braden Gray had as that came out to him. Oh. And the Cardinals called for another penalty.
It's actually Armstrong.
Oh, Armstrong, the penalty. Apparently, I would have seen that had I watched the monitor. I did not. So Coon Rapids power play. Knapp controls it in the corner. Now got away from him. And another one. It's going to be a 5-on-3. That shot didn't make it through traffic, and Cardinals are going to have a two-man advantage for 92 seconds.
Well, they can use one. Here, as you see that, we'll see it again. There's he pulled down there. That's where the infraction came.
Sam Schreiner in the box to keep Eric Schneider company. Still 3-on-5. Ben Campion able to get it all the way down. Crosby from his own end into the zone. Tried to go short side, stopped up by Harding. Clear attempt held by Ammon across to Crosby. Look into the back door, and it handcuffed Ryan Corey a little bit. He recovers out to the point. Crosby through traffic off the end glass. Joe Campion able to clear it for Armstrong Cooper.
Now, Campion does a nice job to alleviate the pressure with the Wings 2 skaters short.
Jonah Jangula batted that one out of the air and then recovered it, and now here he is stealing it a second time and sends it all the way back to his own end, and Carter Lucas can burn some time off of this 5-on-3 before sending it the length of the ice. Under 15 seconds remaining in the two-man advantage. That pass out of the reach of Ball. Recollected, cross ice behind George, but he'll recover headed into the zone. Stops up in the corner, now held to the boards. Ball at the hash marks, up to Crosby, back to Ball, skipped away from him. Tipped to the line and over the stick of Crosby, and headed back the other way is Eric Schneider. Fresh out of the box. He'll skate it around behind. 10 seconds left on the Cardinal advantage. George into the zone, stops up. Pass was partially deflected and still loose. Poked at. Corey trying to tie up there and force it in deeper. Braden Gray hassled along the end board by Pieri. Plays it back near side for Jonah Jangula. Jangula sidesteps Knapp through center into the zone. Goes to his forehand, and another penalty coming up against the Cardinals. They killed off that, and they got a goal. Never mind the penalty.
Didn't see that.
Slipped it in short side on Protas.
Well, after Coon Rapids having that two-man advantage for quite a while, really not able to do anything on that opportunity. Now the Wings come back down and they slip the puck past Protas. Is that Jangala?
Yep.
His third.
Completes the hat trick.
We didn't need to ISO him, did we?
My bad, man. My bad. He had a great game last game.
He did. Yeah. No.
Goal and 2 assists in regulation, and they win 4-3 in overtime. But yeah, more power to coach and the intuition of Shapiro.
That's right. You know, I'm a hockey guy, so.
To ISO. Well, you were correct in, hey, go with what the coach told me.
Well, that's what I figured. He knows him a little better.
He does, and Jangula has definitely stepped up. Another penalty coming up against Armstrong Cooper.
We'll take a look at the penalty again. Oh yeah,
he's lucky. He's actually lucky
he
that
stuck his leg out to trip him.
He's lucky it was not kneeing. I suppose it's the same penalty, but can be then. 12:59, the time of the penalty.
Oh, fastball down the middle, drilled foul.
As we stay with the baseball metaphors. Clear attempt held by Ammon. Pieri will play it down low. Now it comes up top to Ammon. Ammon again. Crosby is shot, turned away by Harding. First power play shot for the Cardinals. That one through traffic and off the end boards. Centering attempt, bounces around. Knapp centering was Armstrong Cooper able to play it all the way down. Knapp leaves it. Ammon into the zone, leaves it for Pieri. Hammond in the corner. Spins, looks, tries to center. That's blocked. Tries to jam it home out front. And Harding has the door closed. Crosby, cross ice. George will chop it in, back into the far corner. Tied up, held in by Crosby momentarily, then pokes free to the corner. Pieri trying to dance and then sends it across, but crossed up. Caden Anderson on the back door. Crosby tripped up, and then he went head first into Braden Gray, and Crosby could be shaken up. That was a tough way to go crashing in, and he is not moving much.
No, he is not.
That is scary.
Let's take another look at it. Is it he hit? Oh yeah, he got a knee, he got a thigh right in the head.
We will take a break as he is tended to, and hope to come back with positive updates. You're watching live boys high school hockey on CTN.
I want the customer or the citizen to come in and enjoy what we have to offer. Most people that come into the facility are kind of taken back by it right away. They just think it's a beautiful facility.
We want to provide a fun environment for skaters to learn basic skills.
We love it. All of the skating instructors and coaches here are just great to work with, great with the kids.
Well, I like spins a lot.
I really enjoy the first few weeks of classes. We get so many beginners, and they come out that first week and they're crawling on the ice and they're not able to stand, and by that second or third week they're all standing, they're all moving, they're getting across the ice, they have great smiles on their face. It's really a fun time to watch those new beginners.
The facility gets used for birthday parties quite often. We've had everything from wedding showers to family Christmases to baby showers and business meetings. When you come in, it really is kind of a welcoming atmosphere, and it provides I think it provides a good opportunity for kids to come in and learn.
It's just a great place to skate.
Michael Crosby able to get up and skate off under his own pressure, being looked at by his own power. Being looked at, obviously, by the trainer. It looks like he answered all the questions properly, and
we're glad to see that.
He'll be able to put his helmet back on and continue to play, and that is big for this Coon Rapids team. You know, Michael probably this one flipped out of the zone, and first one there is Jangula behind the defense, across, shut down by Protus. You don't want to give up that opportunity up 5-on-3 ever, but certainly not to that player. George skates with it. Tries to go back door. That's tipped away. And now flipped the length of the ice by Jack Campion. And Jangula is going to be the first one there again. Now a 5-on-4 situation, but still another minute plus on the power play for Coon Rapids.
And we're about a minute and a half left in this contest.
Cross ice pass tipped away by Bjorn Jensen. Tie up along the end boards. Loose puck. Chipped but not out. Held there by Jack Campion. Shot misses wide. Ryan Corey recovers off the far board. Locking it. Bumped off of it. Armstrong Cooper fires it all the way down. 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Protas plays it back near side, and Eric Schneider gets there first and fires it all the way back to the Armstrong end, and Wings will reverse, kill some more clock, and send it all the way back down.
Doing the smart thing, just clearing the puck out, taking time off the clock. You've got a healthy 6-1 lead.
Under a minute remaining, down to the final 40 seconds. And Armstrong a big win. Coon Rapids an early lead gone to waste as the division leading Wings score 6 straight and coast to the easy win. 2 goals here in the third helped solidify the victory as we tick down to the final 10.
And that'll do it.
Zaman just pitchforks it end to end. The buzzer will sound before the whistle blows for icing, and the Cardinals hang their heads a bit, but a good Armstrong Cooper team adds to its lead in the third period and skates to a relatively easy 6-1 win.
Yeah, nice win for him too. And Coach Charleston talked about, we just want to come, we want to start, we want to continue on the winning path. And now that they have taken the top spot in the conference, they have been able to do that here with another win against Coon Rapids.
Power play goal got it started inside the first minute, and we talked about it. No, never want to give up goals in the first or last minute of any period. They gave up 2 at the end of the first, get one again in the first minute of the third, and they lose 6-1.
Yeah, again, tough loss. They'd come off a win, and after losing, I believe, 7 in a row, and now they're gonna have to go back, start that winning streak over.
Let's look at what we have coming up for you on Tuesday. Boys basketball, Cardinals hosting the Bengals from Blaine on Monday, January 5th. Girls basketball against Park Center, and on Friday the 9th, wrestling Cardinals at the Anoka Tornadoes. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying goodnight.